Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. But please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm none other than your homie HerbMan. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. This is where we teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and the wellness that we all deserve, you guys. All right. So this is a free information station. You guys don't have to pay for nothing that you hear here today. All you simply got to do, if you have the time, is to pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000+ likes during the live broadcast. I'm going to work for those likes. You need to help us share this information because we heal faster together, you guys. I know I've been gone for a few days. I've been in the moving, okay, and doing all that type of stuff, but I'm here, I'm back, we ready. We need to go ahead and get this information. A lot of us is just not understanding really what it takes to heal. I think that a lot of us are just in performance mode, right? Remember that I always tell you guys, we're so busy being human doings that we simply can't grasp the importance of just a human being. Okay. And when you get caught up in this performative type of act, you tend to still keep yourself stimulated, and you cannot heal yourself in a stimulated format. You must understand not to confuse stimulation with regulation. Okay. You have to be able to regulate yourself in order to heal. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into it because the thing is that when your mind is not able to be set free the way that you were programmed, the way that you were framed to do, the programming is the cognitive prison, but the design is cognitive freedom, you guys. Go ahead and put I'm here in the chat, you guys. Let this thing build up. Go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on, okay? You cannot be in cognitive prison. We must start to free ourselves from this cognitive prison, all right? Your design, your actual natural design is for you to be cognitively free. That means a free mind, not an imprisoned mind to the industrialization, to the programming in which we're under. And so then you walk down Sickville, USA, and now you're wondering why the herb's not working. A lot of you guys are trying to hug trees instead of just be out there amongst the trees. A lot of you guys are trying to put your feet in the dirt instead of just sitting down somewhere on the dirt. A lot of you guys are trying to do too much, and you don't know how to just be. It will happen if you just be. There's nothing you need to do but to just be. And the human being is your design, not the human doing. Okay? Because if you realize nature, if you go back to nature, what is it that you need to do? Other than creating shelter for yourself, the trees will grow, the fruits and vegetables will grow, everything will be in abundance. Look, if you go right now and get you some land and you go and let's say you go and grow collard greens, there's going to be so many collard greens that you got to sell them. If you go right now and get you some land and you grow watermelon, there's going to be so many watermelon that you have to sell them. If you go right now and try to grow strawberries, there's going to be so many strawberries that you got to give them away. Why? Because the earth is abundant. So there's what is there need to do? It's just a need to be. Okay. And so we're going to talk to you guys today about this cognitive freedom and about this free mind and about why you get this information in your health assessment when you do the owner's manual. Okay. So if you hear the owner's manual, that's what we're talking about. If anybody's in, but the question is, are you actually thinking or are you being thought? That's a real deep question. And the next question is, what if your thoughts are not necessarily yours? What if your anxiety is not necessarily psychological? But what if it's architectural, programmed? What if the modern environment that we're living in today is designing your cognition instead of allowing you to be free? Today, we're going to talk about what's cognitive freedom. We're going to talk about why it is very important for you to get your owner's manual and understand how you blend in with nature instead of how you dominate nature. We're going to be talking about this cognitive freedom even moving forward. And this is not freedom of speech. This is not the freedom of movement. Cognitive freedom is the ability to think without being hijacked. It's the ability to think without being hijacked. So I'm going to ask you guys a question here. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. You keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to that 100K, okay? Very good subject today, okay? I'm going to ask you guys, when was the last time, anybody here on the live, when was the last time, I know I got my YouTubers, I got my TikTok. You guys, I appreciate you very much for your support. We'll continue to keep drilling home the reason why you must blend with nature. Don't try to dominate it. It's not about doing, it's about being. When was the last time any of you guys had 30 minutes of uninterrupted silence? 30 minutes of uninterrupted silence. If you had in the last day or so, a week or so, 30 minutes of uninterrupted silence, put some ones in the chat. Let us hear it. Put some ones in the chat. This is very important. Okay. Somebody said never. I can't remember. Okay. Terry Beak said they had some. Okay, so you've had 30 minutes of uninterrupted silence, Terry Beats. That's good. That's a good thing. Let me ask you another question, okay? Somebody said every morning. Good, Miss Ladybug. That's what we're looking for, right? That's what we're looking for. Don said never. So you'll see that a lot of us are not afforded 30 minutes of uninterrupted. That means no children, no spouse, no radio, no TV, no cell phone, no cooking, no getting up and having a bath, brush your teeth. So now you might want to reiterate that. Okay, this is you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there being, right? And this is not meditation. It has nothing to do with that. Okay. Some people saying yes every morning. Good, guys. You know how to regulate. Now, let me ask you this. When was the last time your nervous system felt unrushed, meaning that I don't have to get up and go to work? The alarm clock just went off. I got to take the kids to daycare. I got to get up and do what I got to do. I got to cook breakfast. I got to clock in. I got to do this. When was the last time your nervous system felt unrushed? Is it in that same block? Put some ones in the chat if you guys have had the ability to not feel rushed. That means that you're doing. Remember that what with the theme of this. I want you to be a human being in nature and not be a human doing in the unnatural climate. Okay? That's what we want you guys to do, right? So when we define the cognitive freedom, anybody know what cognitive freedom means? If you do, put it in the chat. If you know what cognitive freedom means, put it in the chat. But a free mind, in order for you guys to take back your mind, take back your mental health, in order for you guys to take back your cognition, take back your mind, take back your mental health, you got to know what this means. A free mind requires what? We know, we talked about this. It requires a regulated nervous system. Somebody said I have to do better. Yes, but this is why we teach. This is why we educate for free. Okay, if you guys can't go to TikTok, you get on YouTube, we here. Okay, if you missed this program, you subscribe to the YouTube page, you get it. But you can't have a free mind without a regulated nervous system. You also have to have this baseline. Remember that this is the baseline. So even the sun comes from the baseline, does its thing, goes away from the baseline, and returns back to baseline, does this thing and go away from baseline and comes back to baseline. So you see that this is the natural progression of the sun. So if we're following the Son of God, then you see that even the sun knows how to hit this baseline and come back to regulation. So this is what I would like to call that stable dopamine baseline. You can't be chasing the carrot all day. You have to come back to some regulation and some baseline. Okay, a free mind requires this. Okay, another thing is a free mind requires a healthy circadian rhythm, sleep, because without sleep you can't repair. You guys are trying to look for how do you heal? Sleep. Well, I'm getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Are you getting real true sleep, or are you just laying down? The mind has the rest. You can be laying in the bed all day, but if you're dreaming, if you're thinking, if you're doing all of this, you're really not resting, which means that you're really not repairing. Okay? The healthy circadian rhythm also is talking about staying in tune with nature. So when the sun sets, you don't need artificial light. Artificial light will extend the circadian rhythm. You want to be able to get back to baseline. The sun go down, we're going to cut these lights off in here, and then that's when you're starting to flow, and that's why they call it the circadian rhythm. They didn't call it sleep. You have to be in rhythm with nature. A free mind requires this. A free mind also requires a functional vagal tone. That's your vagus nerve. That's your monitoring system of the body. You got to have this type of stuff. And we're going to explain to you exactly why this is very important, you guys. All right. Modern environment. Remember, you are an ancient being, but you're a modern human doing instead of being this ancient being. Right. So you are ancient being in a modern environment, and the modern environment is creating what? Chronic beta brain waves. So you're rarely in that theta that you need to be in. The modern environments are also creating this cortisol dominance instead of getting some of that melatonin. What balances out cortisol? Anybody know? What balances out cortisol? So again, I told you guys about the sleep, right? So if the sun right now, if the equinox is saying right now, 12 on, 12 off, right? Right? 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. And if you're supposed to be on the circadian rhythm of the sun, then this night right here should be 12 hours. But if we're getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep, we're getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep, we're getting 8 to 10, then you're still not able to do what? Recharge properly. Recharge is another word for repair. Okay, so you're not able to repair properly. So 4 to 6 hours is going to make it about what? 30 to 50%, 50 to maybe 60, 75%, well, maybe 50 to 60. Then so your biggest thing is about 75% battery charge. Okay, now you and I both know that if your phone is at 75% battery charge every day, it's quicker for you to do what? Run out of battery. And we're not even talking about the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. So that means that you got cortisol dominance when you're awake. When you're asleep, you got melatonin dominance. So this modern environment is keeping you up, which is keeping you having the lack of repair time. And you out here working, and you out here dreaming, and you out here creating, and you trying to be an entrepreneur, and you trying to work 14 to 16 hours a day, and you trying to work 8 to 10 hours a day, and you trying to get to the bag, they say, and you're trying to put your kids through this and teach your kids this and that and the third, but you are under cortisol dominance, not melatonin dominance. So it's okay to be up on the cortisol, but you need the melatonin to do what? The balancing act of it all. The modern environment is creating this for you. The modern environment is also creating what? Fragmented attention. So that's why social media, y'all can't stay on here long. You're scrolling, fragmented attention. You can't focus and concentrate. A lot of people out here suffering from brain fog. I know, I work in this field. What you got for brain fog, HerbMan? Fragmented attention. What you got for hormonal imbalance? Both of those lead to what? Sleep deprivation, insomnia. Your little young teenagers got all kind of menstruation issues. Sleep. Want to be on the phone all night, on the radio all night, sleep. Modern environments are creating this at a young age to throw you off of your natural human design. Modern environments also create this artificial urgency where you think it's the end of the world. You got to make it happen now. You got to do it now. And that I teach people all the time. What you're trying to do may not even be the thing that you should be doing. And that's going to cause what? Suffering. Your wants, needs, and desires, when they are not met, you suffer. You're mad, you're angry, you're frustrated, all of this stuff, you're stressed out. And that's only leading you to these coping mechanisms: drugs, sex, alcohol. So what I want to introduce to you guys today, and I want you guys to put this in the chat. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. What I want to introduce to you today is, have you ever heard of this particular phrase that's called soft fascination? Okay, we're gonna say soft fascination. Anybody ever heard of this terminology? Soft fascination. Okay, we want to introduce this, understand this terminology to you. Okay, this is what they would call neutral. Not even neutral, I'm gonna say natural. Okay, what they would call natural fractals to restore your attention networks. Let me repeat that: natural fractals to restore your attention network. What you put attention to is what you're going to do. That's the entertainment. So when you're dealing with this soft fascination theory, you're dealing with the prefrontal cortex being very, very fatigued. Okay? Your default mode network that I always talk to you about, it's going to need recalibration. Okay? The alpha and the theta axis that I just talked to you about, you can get this in nature. So this soft fascination theory, you can get this in nature, but it's very hard to get it in an unnatural environment. This soft fascination theory, you can get this in nature, but it's very hard to get it in an unnatural environment. City living, the work living tends to narrow your projection, and you need it for it to be widened. And nature does this for us. Nature does this for us. If you can just think about ocean waves, you're on the beach listening to ocean waves. That's a soft fascination. You're thinking about the forest and walking through the forest or biking. You're hearing all the noises. That's a soft fascination. When you're looking at the sun come up on the horizon, that's a soft fascination. And you see that when you're in these particular dynamics, your breath shift. You get a little bit calmer, a little bit more relaxed. Your body release, the jaw release, all this type of stuff come. Your shoulders drop, because why? You're not in that narrowing of everything. And your body knows coherence before your mind understands it. Peace, peace. Peace, peace. Come on in the building, you guys. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking to you, okay? So due to this time manipulation, we have this cognitive distortion, okay? And I've already taught you guys about the calendar distortion. That's why the owner's manual is very important, because it's getting you back on track with time. What your actual real life lesson is in the proper time. I also put down the dates to show you that you're not even really living in the right month. Okay? As far as how you write it. So when you get this little subtle thing dealing with time, or when you running off the clock, that's going to compress the way that you think. Biological time is light-based. Modern time is clock-based. Which one do you think you should be on? But you don't know how to follow the Son of God, then how you getting the light? If you don't know how to follow the Son of God, how you getting the light? You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to give me something to drink real quick while we keep going in. So if you're talking about biological clock, how can you ever extend life if it's light-based? How can you ever extend your fertility? How can you ever extend your cellular biological clock when all of it is based on light. And you based on the clock on the wall. Girl, when I turn 40, 45, I'm supposed to have my they say when you turn 50, you're supposed to do have your little menopause and this, that, and the third. That's not based on those ages that way. There are people who have extended all of that type of stuff because they know how to be outside enough and get enough of nature in them. And you'll see that nature can supersede man's laws. Okay? You're looking at your super charismatic nucleus. What is that? That's your timekeeper. That's your brain's timekeeper. It's called a suprachiasmatic nucleus. You're looking at the artificial light bulbs that we have. That means that you're not in sync with nature. Okay? You're not in sync with nature. That is time distortion. That time distortion leads to cognitive distortion. We talked about the cortisol because you're awake most of the day. If you got 24 hours in a day and you're only sleeping 4 to 6 to 6 to 8, then cortisol, you are cortisol dominant. Does everybody understand that? If it's 24 hours in a day and you're only sleeping regular 6 to 8 hours, okay, what percentage of this is that? So that means that this person who's only sleeping 6 to 8 hours of this 24 is cortisol dominant. That's what that means. In other words, that means you are out of balance. You are melatonin suppressed. And if you distort the light, you distort perception. Which gland in your body is your perceiver of the light? Anybody knows? If you distort light, because you in the house, you in the car, you in the job all the time. If you distort light, you distort perception. Which gland of the endocrine system? Thank you, the noetic name. Now you know why they're talking about the pineal gland. That's not your magic gland. That's your light gland. That's not some, what's the third eye, the pyramid, all this type of stuff. Yes, to see the light. You see that? Let me see if I got old funky dollar. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you that information, okay? Got me old funky dollar right here. Let's see what that say. Old funky dollar. Does it got light around it or it's just a pyramid? I see light. Oh, but you thinking it's some spiritual, crazy juba, wooby, booby, booby. Okay? If you distort light, you distort perception. The pineal gland is the light receiver. Allows you to perceive which chakra is the pineal gland. Anybody know which chakra is the pineal gland? Anybody know? Yes. So now here we're talking about spiritual ego. We're talking about the darkness of being in the spirit. So now this is what I'm telling you about the dark ages, where you think you're getting a lot of information. It is a lot of information, but because you can't be what they call that word I always used to use, you can't decipher or decode, or you can't be discerning enough because you ain't got enough light on the situation. Light on the situation, to me, this means that you know more about the situation than you supposed. I need for you to shed light on the situation. That's the crown. And that's why I'm asking you, why do people feel so much anxious at night? Why is the depression rates rising in the urban zones? Because of this indoor living, because of this seasonal deprivation, because of this disconnection from the solar cues. The Son of God, follow the path of the sun. It's teaching you everything. God speaks through nature. Get your owner's manual so you'll see what God is talking about in your life. And we talk about your two sons. People say the two sons, it's only one sun, and you got the moon and Jupiter and Neptune and wait before you get to all of that. Not saying that that's not important. Know the two sons that's in each and every one of you. You say, well, how does a person have two sons? This is what I'm trying to tell you. This Aries right here, when the sun is shining in Aries right here, what's the darkest place on earth? What's the darkest zodiac on earth? Thank you, Twyla. That's one of my star students right there. The darkest place on earth when the sun is shining in Aries is in Libra. So now, the darkest place on the earth is going to have what shining in there then? The moon, right? The moon is going to be in Libra, reflecting the light from the sun. So the darkest place on earth has the moon. Y'all calling it moon, but it's the two suns. So you must quantify the light of the Aries and the dark of the Aries is the Libra. That's the dark ages because you don't know the other sign in you because you went from Aries to then yes, they said your moon is up here. Oh, I'm an Aries with my moon in Gemini. How in the world could your moon be in Gemini? That's not proper reading. Y'all better get this. How in the world can your sun be in Aries and the moon be in Gemini? That's crazy work. If the sun is in Aries, the darkest place on the earth is in Libra, and that's where the moon will be. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. You must understand your duality. So it ain't just the Gemini that got two things. It's each and every one of us. Okay? And that's throwing you off of time. That's throwing you off of your natural progression. That's throwing you off of this real knowledge. So now you got seasonal deprivation. Now you got all this stuff that you're doing because you're disconnected from the solar cues. You're trying to look for all this other stuff. There's a reason why Christ is the most famous person on the earth because he resembled the sun. He's symbolic of the sun, and when you lose track of the sun, you lose your internal compass. Somebody, when you lose track of following the Son of God, can't you see how you're lost? Can't you see how you're confused about what it is that you're trying to do? And this is intentional. It's intentional, and I want to redo this. I want to reintroduce real astrology to you the way that it was supposed to be. They followed the sun and found Christ. They ain't follow no moon. You have Akhenaten looking at the sun disk. They didn't have a moon in the drawings. They wrote you a book called the Bible. Some people call it the what? Helios Biblios. And I'm not trying to get all religious with you. Helio Biblios. Anybody know what this means? Does anybody know what this means? Helios Biblios. Anybody know what this means? I'm going to wait on you guys. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Go tell somebody to go tell somebody. That's why it's very important for y'all to get y'all owner's manual, man. We bringing this stuff back to you. Both of the sun, the book of the sun. Thank you, Fortunate. Thank you, Fortunate. This means the book of the sun. The book of the sun. You are not doing this the correct way. All right. Now, also, when you're looking at the sun, there's other things that tie into it. You see how I tied in the moon? Because the moon is the reflection of the sun. It's the other sun in you. Okay, the moon is the other sun in you. Now, here's the thing. When you're looking at some of our African cultures, especially mine, Guinea-Bissau, right? They were water people. They were forest people, right? And so now you got to understand that in order for you to have the water down pat, the moon and the lunar cycles, you have to also have the solar cycles. You can't have the lunar without the sun. So now when you look at that, they were the water people, they were maritime people, right? So then you got this word here called this sea sons. The sea sons, the seasons. Moon is the sea, suns is the sun. The moon and the sun are the two suns. Within each and every one of us, this means water, fire is in each and every one of us. The ancient Aztecs, the ancient Toltecs, the ancient Mayans knew about this. Instead of saying water and fire, what they did was say this right here: temperature and fluids. So many cultures before us knew about this dynamic. Today, you don't know anything about it. Today, you don't know anything about it. And this stuff also creates the incubation for life. When the sun shines on the water, y'all can go research this stuff. When the sun shines on the water will then do what? Send out humidity and all this stuff that creates the temperature, that creates the incubation for life. It's a design. It's a design. And you are designed in this same fashion, but you are lacking the information. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. You get all of this in your owner's manual, okay? If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, DM us and we'll get you this information, okay? So now you got to understand that this is where we at now. We're starting to learn. We're starting to learn so you'll understand the environment and trains your frequency. And now you got to get into the right environment. If I tell you that environment entrains your frequency, then now you just got to get in the right environment. So that means that if you're in a city environment, if you're in a hustle and bustle environment, whichever one, it don't really matter which environment, just know that it entrains your frequency. Okay? So you got to understand this environment is going to lead to this autonomic nervous system entrainment. It's going to lead to this neural oscillations. It's going to lead to this thought pattern. Even when you're looking at the Schumann resonance, even when you're looking at your heart rate variability, all of this stuff has good research around it. Even when you're looking at walking through the forest or walking around the oceans and the beaches and knowing that they have those negative ions. That's what you want to do, right? You want negative ions because that's going to help you ground. And you're trying to just put your feet in the water. Feet in the dirt. These environments are healthy for us. But your life won't allow you to be around them too long. Most of us is only on a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week vacation. By the time you get a 30-day vacation, you'd have been already dysregulated so long. In order for you to get a 30-day vacation from your job, you would already had been dysregulated from that job 50, 20 years. They mess you up, and then you think 30 days is going to be enough for you to get right. That's crazy work. You must understand that regulation will precede revelation. I teach you how to hum. Y'all think that's dumb. But you don't understand that that's your vagus stimulation. That's your nitric oxide production. Men want to lower your blood pressure, but also want to erect your friend down there. You ain't humming no more with her. Humming also will activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Instead of you being sympathetic dominant, cortisol dominant, help you go to sleep, help you rest and repair. The parasympathetic nervous system is the one that does that. Melatonin, parasympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve, all of this stuff. You ain't got to be taking so many different pills and thrills to do that. There's a few things that can activate all of those things. So when you talk, I know y'all hear this in so many ways. So you hear rest, you hear melatonin, You hear parasympathetic dominance. Right? You hear repair. You hear the vagus nerve. You ain't got to take something for all of this. You don't have to take something for all of this. This is basically sleep in peace. Okay? Can you get some sleep? And can you get some peace? You ain't got to take something to rest. You ain't got to take no melatonin. You ain't got to take nothing for your parasympathetic nervous system. You ain't got to take nothing to repair. And you don't have to take nothing to activate your vagus nerve. All you simply got to do is sleep and get you some peace in your life. And today's environment is not allowing you to do both of those. And when you hum, you'll start to notice the shift in your cognition. And you'll start to understand that if you get in tune with nature, nature becomes your anti-inflammatory intelligence. How many people, when you walk, well, put it like this, I'm going to ask y'all something. How many of you guys have a car? When I'm upset, my dad always say, just lay down. How many people got a car? Put ones in the chat if you got a car. If you got a vehicle, put ones in the chat if you got a car. Okay? If you have a car, put ones in the chat. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes on the live broadcast. It's worth it. I'm working for you. I'm working for you. Okay? I'm working for you. How many people got a car? Put ones in the chat. Come on, chat. Talk to me. How many people got a car? Put ones in the chat. So most of us got a vehicle, right? So now I'm going to ask you another question. The people who say they got a car, how many of you walk to the store? If you walk to the store, even though you got a car, put some twos in the chat. If you find yourself walking to the grocery store, you walk to the gas station, you walk to your little convenience store, even though you got a car, put some ones in the chat. Don't come on here lying, though. See, some of y'all coming on here lying. CD Legacy, I can start. Some of y'all coming up in here lying. Sometimes, yeah. Not close enough. Y'all come on, tell the truth. Made my some of them come on here lying. Okay. Why? That walk, because that car has taken away your natural ability to go up. Your first vehicle is your feet. Your first vehicle is your feet. I live in a very prestigious neighborhood. They look at me funny when I walk up the street going to the store. They look at me funny when I cut my own grass. They look at me funny when I open up my garage and ride my bike. But why am I doing that? Because when you're out there, you can get your mind back. When you're in the house, you're under the doing, the human doing. When you're in the job, you're under the human doing. When you guys are listening to me, sometimes you get it twisted that you got to do something. That owner's manual is telling you how you are designed, but it doesn't mean you really got to do nothing, but start to get back to following the sign of God in your life. And that will produce the regulation, that will produce the sleep, that will produce the peaceful state, the awe, the gratitude. Somebody said I walk all barefoot out there in my house. No, we're talking about outside. We're talking about going outside. Okay? Going outside. We want you to go outside. I don't know what your floors is made of in these houses, right? Is it wood floors? Is it real natural wood floors? Then that might be something. But walking through your house carpet and walking through your house on linoleum and walking through your house on tile, ceramic tile is not what we're talking about. Okay, so understanding that nature is the anti-inflammatory intelligence. Okay, and you got to understand that this ain't talking about inflammation in your knee, but this is talking about neuroinflammation. We're talking about the microalgia activation in the brain. We understanding that the chronic stress will start to shrink your hippocampus. We're talking about this would come to memory distortion. That brain fog, can't remember this, that, and the third. Where I put my keys at? Where I put my why I just have my glasses? Where my glasses at? Walking through these things. So now we're talking about the forest. I just told you I come from Guinea-Bissau. We are the kings of the water and the forest. So I told you about the ocean and the negative ions you get around water. But do you know about forest bathing? Do you understand what you really get when you're walking through the forest? Do you know a thing called phytonosides? Do you understand that this is also going to help your NK cell activation? It's going to reduce your cortisol. When you're getting inflammation, it's not just about the pain in the area, it is also about perceptual distortion. When the body is inflamed, the world around you keeps you tense. Everything is a threat. Cognitive freedom, freeing your mind, will also mean low inflammation in the body and in the mind. And in the mind. Being in awe of nature. A lot of people ask me, HerbMan, how you know all this stuff? I was in the Navy. I was in Japan in the Navy. I lived in Japan for 4 years. All I saw was water. All I saw was nature. And I started formulating a relationship. Unfortunately, I went through some issues in the Navy where I couldn't leave the boat. Let's just say that. So all you got is that water out there. All your friends is going to drink. They done got off work. They're going to have fun, go to the club. They're going to eat, whatever. But I couldn't leave the boat. So I started talking. You know, I'm a Gemini anyway, so we talk to ourselves. Air signs talk to themselves. So I'm talking to myself, but I'm in awe of how the sky don't look no different than the water at night. How you can't tell which one of them is the water at night because there is no street lights on the ocean. So the pitch blackness of the night sky and the pitch blackness of the water, you can't see the horizon. You can't see a division. It's all black. I saw how we as human beings, I was on the second largest ship ever created in the Navy, the USS Bellawood. The second largest ship ever created. And when them waves came, it looked like the little boat in the baby's bathtub. And so what that did was that started to introduce to me awe. Awe. Somebody say awe in the chat, please. That started to introduce to me this, being at awe with nature and understanding that I'm not dominant than nature, that I'm not the biggest thing on this block here. That it don't matter what I create, I didn't create the sun. It don't matter what I create, I didn't create the owl. It don't matter what I create, we created things to manipulate the water, but we didn't create the water itself. Do you know still to this day, people don't know how to create real water? You got all the constituents for water, but you still don't know how to create the water that comes from earth. You got all the constituents and knowledge of air, but you still got to condition it because you still don't got the ingredients and the recipe to God's air, to nature's air. So it put me in my place. This all allowed me to have that small self effect, which is some of you guys need, study spiritual ego. You need this small self effect. It started to produce oxytocin pathways in me that let me know that I was loved greater than the people around me that may have hurt me. Oh, I was experiencing a greater love. than human love. Then I start to understand that now I have this pro-social cognition that I couldn't get from man. See, y'all ain't never experienced God. So you still trying to see God from a book. I'm trying to tell you, stop looking down and look around. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Okay? You got to understand that when you match yourself up to the mountain, it's going to reduce that ego. You got to understand that when you match yourself up to the stars, it'll reduce that narcissism in you. You got to understand that when you match yourself up to the ocean, it'll reduce that mental noise going on in your mind. What is your moment of awe? Do you remember? What is your moment of awe? Yes, you can't experience God looking down. You experience it by looking around. Do you remember your awe moment? I told y'all my awe moment. Do you remember your awe moment? What did that make you feel like? Somebody said, watch the sunsets. Somebody said, at this moment, thank you. Somebody said, yes, when I come out of the coma, yes. But what did it make you feel like? Somebody said, Yahweh, okay, the northern light, you're live, I got you. But what does it make you feel like? What does this make you feel like? If you're saying that right now, you're saying the sunset, you're saying, what does it make you feel like? The sunrise, I got you for. When you see that sunrise, what does it make you feel like? Somebody say warmed and loved. Yes, that's God. What does it make you feel like? Somebody said peaceful. You see now, you see what you're getting from nature? You see what you're getting from nature now, right? Like everything would be okay. Yes, sir. That I'm alive, that I'm connected to it. Listen to yourself. Do your job make you feel like this? Sometimes do the kids and the family even make you feel like this? You see? But everybody's saying the same thing. You feel this calmness. You feel this vastness. You feel this stillness. And ultimately, my brothers and sisters, you feel this freeness. And this is why this owner's manual, all this stuff that we're doing is to bring you back to nature. So many herbalists and so many people are trying to get you to connect through them. But I want you to connect to him. You don't need me. You don't need no mediator. It's your time to go and experience it for yourself. So many people want you to experience something through their giftings and talents. I want to teach you how to fish so you can go and experience it yourself. When I was coming up in the church, especially when I was a youth minister, a young minister, they used to say that we're supposed to produce other ministers. You're not supposed to stay up under my ministry 30 years. That means you ain't learning something. There's something that I ain't teaching you. But if I can empower you to go out there and each one teach one, you ready then, Freddie. You don't need to stay in my class all your life. You don't need to stay in my congregation all your life. I'm supposed to be able to teach you how to birth the ministry in you so now you're ready now to go and teach and reach. But so many folk want you to stay up under their giftings and talents. I'm trying to get you to birth your giftings and talents. So you'll see that this modern system got humans feeling all out of whack. This modern system has humans doing instead of giving them time to be. This modern system is a monetizing thing. Monetizes your attention. It compresses your time. This modern system produces this artificial dopamine. This modern system has you always competitive comparison. This modern system is all about algorithm, what I like to call algorithmic hijacking. You're always chasing the carrot, reward pathways, novelty addiction, attention fragmentation. A distracted brain has no way of finding sovereignty. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep on talking. As you can see, I'm on fire. I ain't been with you in a minute. Okay? So we got to make sure that we're coming strong. Cognitive captivity, cognitive imprisonment is constant stimulation. I want you to find your path to freedom in your owner's manual. And you'll start to learn that it ain't about the amount of things you got to do. Oh, I hug a tree. I ground my feet in the soil. I do this and I do that. You still doing. I know I'm a herbalist. I know it's nature, but I'm trying to get you to see that your natural thing is to be, not do. You keep trying to do something. I'm drinking the tea. I'm in the sunlight. I'm out here in the water. I'm out here in the grass. I'm humming. I'm singing. I'm hugging. But you still doing. That means you're still stimulated. I ain't giving you this to do nothing. I'm giving you this to be something. And you'll find that when you get into nature, nature will start to peel back the onion. It'll start to remove the comparison. It'll start to remove the notification systems that embedded in you. It'll start to remove the performance pressure, the doing. And all of that stuff will start to create this cognitive space for you to be able to be free again. And your roadmap to freedom looks like this. Your roadmap to freedom is following the Son of God. Your roadmap to freedom is your owner's manual. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, DM somebody, DM me, and somebody will get to you. Don't worry about trying to change your thoughts right now. Just change your environment. Don't worry about trying to change your thoughts like meditation try to get you to do. Don't worry about trying to change your herbalist. Don't worry about trying to change the herb. Don't worry about trying to change the doctor. Don't worry about trying to change. Don't worry about trying to change your thoughts right now. Just change your environment. Why you think I'm going to Africa? Remember that God in your Bible, from day 1 through day 5, created the environment first before day 6 came and created man. Then on day 7, showed you the importance of rest. The environment is first, not yourself. The environment. An environment entrains you. And I want to say this before I close. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up there. I want to say this before we close. We're trying to reach 100K, you guys. This is great information. This is also going to be on YouTube as well, just in case you missed it. Freedom ain't rebellion. We're not telling you to rebel against nothing. I'm not against systems. We'll put it like this. I'm not against people, but we do have to change these systems. But freedom is not rebellion against people. Freedom is regulation. And regulations begin with your understanding of your human design here on this earth. And I want to promise you that you're not mentally broken. You're just environmentally misaligned. And the earth and all of the stuff God gave us here is still waiting. for the manifestations. Does anybody know that verse? Does anybody know that verse? Because I'm finna do it for you. Okay? You're environmentally misaligned, and the earth is still waiting for the manifestations of the who? Of the sons of God. Ain't that what it say? Say all creation is still waiting on the manifestation of the sons of God. So that means that you got to have an example to be a son. You got to have an example to be a son. And you got one. But nobody has showed you and told you the right way to live your life. If you follow the pattern of the sun, you'll be in the right alignment. You'll know when to eat, when to drink, when to sleep, when to do, when to be. You'll know when. You'll know when. And we're trying to teach you this, that you can know when. You can't stop the rain, but you can be prepared for it. You can be prepared for it. And that cognitive freedom. I remember even when I was young, one of my first businesses, I never told nobody this, but I tell all 100 or so of you guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. The first thing I ever dreamed of wanting to do was have an organization. And I called it this. And the crazy thing about it is I never told nobody this. So I'm telling strangers this today. Okay? But y'all are not strangers. Y'all are my brothers and sisters in the same time and the same space. But it was called this. And you see, I didn't put the D there. But it meant that. Free minds, my people, free minds. Right? So it had a double meaning. And it was called Free Minds of America. FM of A. FM of A. And the minds were the people who understand that it's time to move to this next level of understanding your human frame and human design. The way that God designed you is different than the way that your life has designed you, the way that programming has designed you. Cognitive freedom is the ability to think without compulsion. Cognitive freedom is the ability to perceive without the veil, the distortion. Cognitive freedom is the ability to choose without the stress hijacking the outcome. Cognitive freedom is the ability to be aware without fragmentation. Most of our minds are not free enough to see this thing. Most of our minds are stimulus bound. You couldn't recognize God if he was staring you dead in the face. And we got all these notifications and deadlines and meetings, and we got all this planning, and we got all of this stuff going on around us, this artificial light and artificial sounds, and we got all this chronic cortisol stimulating things in our life. Watching our clock every 5 minutes, everything is under stress, under compressed time. But I'm here to tell you that nature is the only thing that can reverse what you got going on. But you got to be able to sit out there in it. You got to be able to give nature time. You can't compress, you can't stress nature. That's why I try to teach you guys. If you had a garden right now, you'll grow so many bell peppers, you'll have to start selling them. So nature has your abundance. If you go out there right now, you'll grow so many tomatoes, you have to give them away. Nature got your abundance. If you went out there and grew fruit trees and you had an orange tree and a lemon tree and you'll have so much that you couldn't even eat it in the season that it's in before it go bad. Nature got its abundance. You couldn't eat all the grapes and all the blueberries and blackberries from the bush before you have a stomach ache, because why? Nature has abundance. But you can eat all them that come in your little pack for $5. You can drink out that little bottle of water, but you can't drink up the spring. But you just won't go down there to see that abundance. So you're always living in lack, always living in greed and in gluttony. If you turn your eyes on to nature, you got the best light, the best food. Nature know how to cook. We call it raw. How many of us call this stuff raw fruits and vegetables out in nature? No, that's cooked food. But because of your perception, you think you got to go and do something extra to the food. But nature cooked that orange. That orange ain't raw. Nature cooked that banana. That banana ain't raw. That's not a raw fruit or vegetable. It's cooked. Oh, my goodness. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking to you. If you're interested in the owner's manual, please deal me. We'll get you this information. Okay? Hold all calls until after the live, you guys, please. Nature will restore your temporal sovereignty. You got to understand that your brain evolved under this particular design. Your brain evolved under the sunrise and sunset, not light bulbs. Your makeup, your brain evolved under the seasonal shifts, not the shift at the job. Your brain evolved under the tidal rhythms, not the music that you're listening to. Your brain evolved under the lunar cycles. That's a reflection of the solar cycles. And when you step into nature, that SCN, that brain's timekeeper, it can help you get recalibrated. And that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking to be recalibrated. And when you get recalibrated, you regain your internal pacing. So you're not all over the place anymore, internally. This is cognitive freedom. This is being a free man. Do you know your way to freedom? Do you know your way to freedom? Yes or no? Do you guys know your roadmap to freedom? It ain't get as much money as you need, because even money is going to have problems. Do you know your road to freedom? That's what we're really asking you guys. Not your road to love, because that spouse can also hold you captive to love, right? To the human love. Not your road to money, because money can hold you captive to trying to maintain it and keep it. I ask you, what do you know your road to freedom of the money and of the human default in love? Yes, thank you, Theo. I don't think so. Yeah. The owner's manual shows you the way. Not the way to your spouse, not the way to the money, even though it can show you that on the road, but your road, that ain't the end result of your life. Being married is not the end result of your life. It's a part of it. Having some money is not the end result that you're looking for to your life, but it can be success, can be a part of it. But the ultimate prize is the heavenly consciousness. The ultimate prize is the freedom. Okay? That's the ultimate prize. And when you understand how nature can start to expand your perceptual bandwidth, then you're getting somewhere. When you understand the forests and the oceans and the deserts and what they do to you and do for you, then you'll be willing to bring on that soft fascination. That's when your creativity will increase. And when that creativity increase, then you can start finding the wisdom that you need for your healing or for your wealth or for your relationships. Okay? That's when your rumination can decrease as well. Donna, what you doing on my live? Okay, you're talking too much. A person that's talking too much and typing too much, that means you're not listening. Okay? Donna, if you're talking too much, you're not listening. I don't need to block you anyway. I'm just going to mute you. We don't block you because Judas even got to eat from this plate, Donna. Okay? We make food for Judas too. All right? So we're not going to block you from eating because you need the food too. But we can make you shut up. Okay? But this food for you too, baby. You need it too. Ain't nobody got the message from nothing, okay? The message is you're out of control, okay? You're out of control. Again, you up under that chronic stress. You over here got elevated cortisol on somebody else's feed, okay? And so you're gonna get to a point too where you're gonna need something, and you need to know that this is here for you as well, okay? This is here for you as well, okay? Understanding the oceans, the trees, and the deserts, and not social media. Understanding that, I don't even know if y'all even heard of this word, but you got to understand that this stuff is what's going to help you. These are medicines that you can't find in medicine, but you can find it in nature. That's what I like to call it. Okay. We're constantly trying to take these things and manipulate them and isolate them, but you need the whole thing. Yeah, you don't want just a little bit of the fruit. You need the whole thing. Okay? You need the whole thing, right? And so these phytonicides, they come from trees, not from your building, not from your car, not from your friends. They come from the trees. These gonna help reduce stress hormones. Oh, there's too many bugs out there. This will help you lower blood pressure. This will help you improve your mood regulation without even having to have another human being, and you're demanding and commanding and depending on people to do something that God can do for you way better than a person. It reduces the inflammation is not just something physical. It is perceptual distortion. And when your inflammation can get lowered by these things, your reality becomes less threatening. And your freedom now becomes the drive in you. Remember that that's the end result. It ain't love, it ain't money, it's freedom. The end result that you want is not love, it's not money, it is freedom. Why do you think that whole slave debauchery is even a thing? The end result of your life is not this, and okay, it's not this, And it's this. Check. Okay? That's the thing that you're not getting along this path. When you follow the Son of God, it ain't about this. This is a part of it. When you follow the Son of God, success is a part of that. Yes, you're going to be successful because you're going to know your life lessons. You're going to know all this stuff. You get this with your owner's manual. But ultimately, these are not the stops. This is not the final destination. It's this one. You just pick up the rest along the way. How many of you understand that? This is not the destination. This is not the destination. It's this one. You pick up this stuff along the way of following the Son within you. And when you start following this the right way, you start really looking at your owner's manual the right way, you start getting that regulated frequency. You start to understand the light cycles. You start to understand the electromagnetic grounding. You start to understand the negative ions near water. And in the fall, you start to understand what even Schumann was talking about with his resonance. You start to understand about the barefoot on the soil. You start to understand it. And then you'll start to realize that, you know what? Everything has been stimulating me, even all the way down to my religious habits. But the brother's teaching us that you can't heal truly under stimulation, and you can't mistake feeling good for getting better. How many people know the difference between feeling good and getting better? Put some ones in the chat. How many people know the difference between feeling good and getting better? Put some ones in the chat. Somebody said they can't see me. Can you guys see me? Look like I'm a YouTube can. Can y'all see me? Put some ones in the chat if you can see me. Okay, all right. How many people know the difference between feeling good and getting better? There's a lot of things that make you feel good, including a lot of the negative coping mechanisms that we deal with. But they don't make you better, right? If I drink today, I still got the problem tomorrow. If I smoke right now, I still got the problem when I get through. Even if I have sex with you right now, we still got the problem after we finish. I can work all day, all I want to. I'm still going to have that problem. Feeling good. You can go to church and still got to address and face the issue. Still waiting on you as soon as you leave the church. The bills still saying, hey, you ain't get the money, did you? The church did. So you still got to pay that rent off. You still got to pay your mortgage. You still got to deal with that spouse, that relationship. You still got to deal with them bad children after your praise break. Feeling good doesn't mean you're getting better. And we just simply keep being in these overstimulated dopamine type of situations that continues to create this novelty addiction. But nature, true nature, gives you clarity. It reduces that stress. It reduces that dopamine spike. It reduces this algorithmic manipulation that even social media is trying to provide to you. Can't you see the difference? Because this is critical. And we need to know that without a reset, okay? Without a reset, okay? It's okay for you to go, it's okay for you to come all the way up here, right? You see how high, see how far away from the Garden of Eden you went? See how far away from God you got? That's okay, but you got to come back. You got to come back home. That's the story of the prodigal son. The prodigal son is not people, it's a principle. I'm trying to show you something. It's okay for you to go all the way. You can walk away from the house. You can walk away from God. You can do what you're going to do, but you got to make sure you come back home. Because without this reset, you can't experience the satisfaction of this heavenly experience that you're really having, but you perceive it as a hellish one because of the programming. Without a reset, you can't experience the satisfaction of this experience. And guess what? Without satisfaction, you cannot experience the peace that we're trying to teach you about. Remember, all you need is sleep in peace. You can't sleep in peace because you worry about the lions, the tigers, and bears. And if you ain't got no peace in this experience, you can't think clearly. So you're listening to everybody, and you still haven't got no further in your healing journey, no further in your relationship journey, no further in your financial journey. Can't you see now the roadmap to confusion? Come back home. Come back home. It's okay. You went out there. You got it. You know, you all up in the clouds with it. We get you. You say you don't need nobody. That's okay. God will give you all of that. Nature will give you all of that. You say you over nature. You dominate. You the man. You the woman. You the God. And you all this type of stuff. That's okay. All of that is allowed. But for your sake, you must come back home. Because nature is going to reintegrate your true identity. And in artificial designs of our life and artificial environments that we're around, identity becomes, at best, performance-based. That's why all of you guys think you got to do something. And I'm trying to teach you how to be something. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking, you guys. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. All of this information is in your owner's manual. See, I know how to teach this thing the right way. I know how to teach this thing the right way. You just got to be ready for it. Got to be ready for this reset. Because when you get into this nature-based consciousness, all that performance-based stuff go out the window. Because in nature, you're not optimized. In nature, as you can see, it doesn't compare you. In nature, as you can see, it doesn't monetize everything. What nature does is simply contextualize, put things in perspective the right way. That's why when I looked at that water out there at 18 years old, I said, boy, can't nobody tell me it ain't no God. Because I can't make this right here. I can make the ship, but I can't make the waters that can even topple the biggest man-made ship. I can make a helicopter, but I can't make the air. It contextualizes. I can throw a rock, but I can't make a mountain. It contextualizes. I can build a light bulb, but I can't make the stars. It contextualizes. And that's why it works better than anything on planet Earth. Don't trust me, trust nature, trust God. Get your owner's manual and get back to the knowledge of your original design. And stop trying to follow my advice and stop trying to follow my intelligence. And all my stuff is limited. But I heard a man say, but God is unlimited. And some of you guys got problems that man can't solve, but God can. Some of you got problems that Yaki can't solve. You got problems that Patrick Delves can't solve. Some of you guys got problems that the doctor can't solve, that your lawyer can't solve, that your mama can't solve, but God can. Get back into perspective. And let nature dissolve this artificial urgency in your life. Because nature doesn't rush you. The forest doesn't rush you. The ocean doesn't rush you. The sun doesn't rush you. And when you get back into that natural pacing, which is what we're talking about, understanding this in your owner's manual, this natural pacing, getting up with the sun, going down with the sun, this natural pacing, then it starts to, your life starts to get a little better. Your breathing starts to get more deeper. Your heart rhythm starts to get in coherence. Your neural oscillation is there. Now your brain moves from this beta thing that we're dealing with nowadays into this calm, peaceful state that theta can provide to you, that alpha theta can provide to you. We're lacking creativity because we're in beta. Well, where's creativity at? The alpha theta. We're lacking intuition that you need to solve your problems. Where is that at? In the alpha theta. We're lacking the integration that is necessary. Where's that at? In your alpha theta. All this information is in your owner's manual. Vertigo is just a dizziness, okay? It's a dizziness that can be caused by multiple things. But most of the time, if it's not circulatory, it could be neural, okay? You got to figure out which one is it. Is it circulatory, meaning am I getting blood flow, or is it neurological? And it could be a different symptoms up under those things that can cause for vertigo, okay? Anybody else? Anybody else? I taught you guys this the other day. If you guys wasn't there, I'm going to show you guys this real quick and then I'll get up out of here. All right, let's see what we're doing right quick. So they just asked about some head stuff. So let me show you this real quick. When dealing with head trauma. Okay, I'm going to get out your way. I'm going to get out your way and let you see this, right? No, that ain't going to be the right thing. There we go. All right. So when you're dealing with the head stuff, look down now. Lack of purpose, spiritual neglect, third eye. So we're looking at the third eye and the crown. That's everything dealing with the head. Okay. Slothfulness, lack of purpose, spiritual neglect, and narrow-mindedness. Okay. Another one is crown, pride. Okay. Or despair, separation from the divine, arrogance, spiritual ego. Those are the things that can be the emotional root causations of vertigo. Okay. Lack of purpose, spiritual neglect, a narrow-mindedness, pride or despair, separation from the true divine part of you, arrogance and spiritual ego can be the emotional root causations of a lot of our mental health issues, our neurological issues, etc., etc. Okay. Another one when we're dealing with the neurological stuff is gluttony. misdirected energy, overindulgence, and ego-driven power struggles can also cause for these mental health issues, these neurological issues, these circulatory issues. Okay? Just to name a little bit. So this is another thing that you get in your owner's manual when we're talking about spiritual tendencies. Some of y'all don't know your tendencies and you haven't dealt with them. And because you haven't dealt with them, then they're starting to lead to physiological tendencies. Like I said, oh my, yes. So I know you like to ask me about the physical, but until we can deal with the spiritual, it gets very difficult. And that's why I try to teach you guys about the medicine that your own body produces. And nature influences these medicines. Right? The dopamine, the serotonin, the GABA, right? The endorphins, the oxytocin, you know, these are your medicines. And when you got that biochemical balance, you good. This is freedom. This is freedom. In your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50. And you ask yourself, am I off time calendar wise? Yes, biologically we are. Because you got stuff extending your day like artificial lighting. You got stuff compressing your life like artificial clocks. You got things that are distorting your cues for what your body should be doing. The cues that come from God. God speaks through nature. That's what I'm saying. Do y'all really know? And when you get in these artificial environments, you don't know who to follow, what to do. You can't think clearly. And this is why, out of your ignorance of thyself, you create industries that are ruling the world today. Anybody got any questions before we get up out of here? You guys, we're almost there. We got about 80,000 likes. We appreciate all of you guys for your support. Okay. But this is your map. Okay. This is your map. And if you don't got this and you're in these crazy environments and they're so unnatural to who your human design really is, then your cognitive mapping will become distorted. And we want to put you back on the map again. Okay? Taylor said, I'm off. Somebody said the prison system, yes, of the mind. Yep. And last, before I go, you guys, you can't think your way to freedom. Okay? You have to regulate your way into freedom. All right? You cannot think your way into this freedom. You have to regulate your way in. Remember that it's environment first. That's going to do what? Entrain your nervous system. That's going to do what? Increase your perception. Your perception then increases your thought. Your thought then gives you the ability to make better choices. And we don't have to perform for God. Okay? Thank you, man. We appreciate all of you guys, man. We will be back on tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. We love you. We thank you for all that you're doing, all that coming on here supporting us from YouTube to TikTok, man. I'm going to keep on busting you guys upside the head with this information so that we can get it out to the masses. The masses need it. We don't need language. We don't need anything. We heal faster together, and we can come here and do that together, man. Until next time, I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace. Yes, sir. Get your owner's manual for H. Pylori Sherry. Get your owner's manual. We can help you. Yes, sir.